Picture the scene. You've just arrived home from an arduous day at work, and you're graciously accepting the chance to relax. Sitting down in front of the TV, you begin to skim absentmindedly through the day's mail. A magazine depicting a paradisal beach catches your eye, and you start to think about that vacation you're planning for next month. Then you notice a letter bearing 3 simple words: official jury summons. While Benjamin Franklin might have been thrilled to have a jury summons delivered by his postal service, most Americans today might experience a differing opinion, one of exasperation. You see, considering their busy lives and their careers, their children, and their other obligations, considering their busy lives, their careers, and their other obligations, jury duty can seem an inconvenience. However, these Americans are failing to note the true nature of that little piece of paper: the honor, the privilege, and the right to bring the Constitution to life through participation in one of our fundamental institutions that has protected human and American rights for nearly 250 years. Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution. The trial of all crimes, except in cases of impeachment, shall be by jury. The Fifth Amendment. In all cases, in all criminal cases, the accused shall enjoy the right to a public. No, I apologize. The Fifth Amendment. No person shall be held for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on the presentment or indictment of a grand jury. The Sixth Amendment. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed. I could recount the Seventh Amendment, but I think the point is clear. Out of all of the fundamental rights endowed to the American people, the right to a trial by jury is the only right enunciated in both the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Why is it so important? Here in the United States, we are lucky to benefit from a system of fair laws that apply to every man, woman, and juvenile equally. However, the sanctity of these policies extends only as far as the people tasked with administering them. In the words of Thomas Jefferson, trial by jury is the only anchor ever yet imagined by man by which a government can be held to the policies of its Constitution. He and the other founding fathers knew how important, yet vulnerable, civil protection can be. Prior to the American Revolution, the American colonists often had to face biased trials by biased judges, led and administered by a conflicting government. Secret trials, corrupt judges, and arbitrary punishments destroyed any chance they had at fair representation. So, they gained a new conviction. When they would form their own government, they would never permit such travesties. So, history unraveled, and our new nation created a fundamental institution that continues to govern our people and protect their freedoms over 2 centuries later. However, it seems that modern Americans have lost focus of that critical purpose for jury service. A recent survey in 2017 by the Pew Research Center found that just 67% of Americans consider jury service to be an important part of being a citizen. But it gets worse. Just 50% of 18 to 29-year-olds held that belief, and even lower proportions were observed for minorities and those without access to higher education. 50%. We need change, and we need it now. In a 2016 survey by the Annenberg Center for American Progress, they found that just 26% of Americans can recount the three branches of the government: executive, legislative, and what's the other one? Judicial. How hard is that? Why can't Americans remember the three branches of government? If so, how do they expect to make informed voting decisions or to protect the sanctity of our judicial systems through jury processing? They can't. The way I see it, these problems, all problems faced by today's society, including a lack of appreciation for jury service and civil participation, is a product of our education system's failure to cultivate effective learning. Children learn new values and new ideas best at young ages. Therefore, it is as children that we need them to gain these new understandings. The problem is, today, there's such a focus on mathematics and English that civics education, and indeed the social studies in general, are being left behind. Out of the 40 states that currently require at least some civics class for high school graduation, only 31 provide a full curriculum, which the Center for American Progress deems as one that includes coverage of the Constitution and Bill of Rights. Local and state voting regulations and participation in local processes such as voting and jury service. That means that 19 states are completely and utterly failing to give their youth a fundamental knowledge of what it means to be a citizen and what duties and obligations they will have as American citizens. It's not surprising then that out of the 46 exams administered by the College Board as part of their advanced placement program, the national average for the U.S. government score is the fourth lowest, sitting at just a 2.64, a failing grade. We need a rebirth. New and effective civics education programs will allow us to safeguard our American future. Luckily, some states have already made significant progress. Take Colorado. In addition to a statewide required civics and government course required for graduation, they also have instituted a judicially speaking program. Initiated by 3 former judges, the program gives youth the opportunity to have hands-on interaction and real-world understanding of courtrooms and the legal professionals that administer those court proceedings. As a result, Colorado students and youth are exhibiting higher voter turnout and greater community service participation in comparison with national averages. Bringing those opportunities to every American child will ensure that our populace has confidence in the American government and knows that they will have some ability to make a unique contribution to our American system. When I look around this room, I see a group of individuals that have the abilities and dedication to furthering movements for civics education. Organizations like the American Legion, the Boy Scouts of America, and the Daughters of the American Revolution provide wonderful examples that general education programs need to learn from. In the words of James Madison, a popular government without popular information or the means for acquiring it is but a prologue to farce, tragedy, or perhaps both. Knowledge, he continued to say, knowledge knowledge is what our children need. And hopefully, by providing them with it, we will create a new generation that doesn't view jury service with exasperation, but as a chance to contribute to the American democratic system. Thank you.
Thank you.
10 minutes